The following program is underwritten by the Nevada Irrigation District. Since 1921, providing clean and healthy drinking and irrigation water to more than 24,000 homes, farms, schools, and businesses in Nevada and Placer counties.
Hi, I'm your host Lew Sitzer. This is NCTV Interviews, and today we have Dawn Zydonis, who is the Nevada City Parks and Recreation Coordinator. Dawn, it's great to have you back again.
Thanks, Lou. Good to be here.
And you might think that because it's wintertime, things aren't happening with Parks and Rec, but that's not true. I'm discovering that it's a program that goes on all year long, and Dawn is going to brief us on some of what is going on, catch us up on what Nevada City is doing with the youth, but with more than the youth as well.
Right.
So you opened up a community center.
Yes, well, and this already existed as part of the job when I came on. We're using the Veterans Building in Nevada City and trying to get as many activities in there to have it function like a community center. So yeah, we have a lot of things going on.
And so one of the things I was surprised to find out is that, of course, if you pay attention to what is happening with Nevada City, of course, there's always something happening with Nevada City. But youth has been an issue for a long time, and you know, the community center is one way in which to address the needs of the youth. As an ex-high school teacher, I always heard, well, there's nothing to do, there's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what the community center is being used for.
Okay. Well, the most exciting thing I think right now that we have going on is the city has formed a partnership with Campfire, and I should probably mention a lot of people who are familiar with Campfire automatically think Campfire Girls, but Campfire has evolved. In the 70s they were Campfire Boys, or they changed to Campfire Boys and Girls, and now it's Campfire USA. So we're serving both boys and girls. So the city partnered up with Campfire USA, and we've opened a youth center at the Veterans Building, and so it's 3 days a week after school. The target age range is 10 to 15, so we've really been marketing towards the middle school students, but it can certainly evolve into including the freshmen and so forth. And so we're starting to program for them.
And I know that you're going to be offering classes, but a lot has been going on at the center as well. Mm-hmm. It isn't just youth.
Right.
A lot of other programs. Dawn came with some great photographs, so in case those of you who aren't sure about what the community center looks like, let's take a look at some of the photos which illustrate what Dawn is involved with.
Right. So this is the Nevada City Veterans Building, and a lot of times when you tell people that name, they're like, where is that building? So it is down the street from Nevada City Elementary. It's behind the parking lot in downtown Nevada City. So it's on the corner of Cottage and Pine. This is the front of the building, and we've actually, since this photo was taken, there's some nice landscaping in front there. So.
It's also great additional parking. If you're driving around Nevada City looking for some parking spaces, the parking lot is usually available.
At the Veterans Building, yeah, there's some, like several parking spaces are designated to the building, and county employees use the parking spaces during the week. But on the weekends, yeah, sometimes if there's not anybody using the building, yeah.
What are we looking at here?
This is the main hall, the upstairs room at the Veterans Building. And I like this picture because it kind of shows you a different way that people generally wouldn't think of using this space. But this was a birthday party for, I believe, a 9-year-old, and her birthday was in December. And so, you know, generally a bounce house is not something you can have at a birthday party in December, but it fits in this building. So it's kind of a nice way to have a birthday party for your child without having to deal with the mess inside your own home.
And this is some of the ways that the Parks and Rec derives some revenue to run its programs.
Yes,
so
we have an agreement with the county on the use of the building. So along with providing different community programs, we have to have the rentals to keep it afloat. So
definitely.
Yes.
Have to keep things afloat.
Yeah. And this is a picture this was a couple girls had their 16th birthday, I believe. And so they decorated the hall this way, and I thought it looked really nice. It's kind of hard to tell in this picture, but it was a really great way to decorate the room with the lights.
So is this room also, do you accommodate dancing or dances here or in the room below?
You can do in either. We've had both. These girls, you know, that was the DJs there setting up. So they had dancing as well as chairs along the side and had a few tables for people to sit as well. So, yeah. So
it's a great facility for activities that people would like to have, whether they're classes or you know, birthday parties, that sort of thing, that the community can probably use more. Are you booked fully, or how does that look?
No, well, our weekday evenings are getting pretty full, which is a good thing. We have Qigong classes, we have Tai Chi classes, fencing, canine training, and so those are some of our community classes that we have, as well as the youth center. The weekends are generally left open for rentals, so, and then also during the day, because most of these classes are in the evening for when people get off work. So we're looking to offer either some senior programs or toddler type programs, which is, I think, one of the things we're going to talk about in a minute, but so to get more use in there during the day. So,
right.
Yeah.
Well, this is, you know, so a lot of people may be hearing this for the first time. And what would be the best way in which to get in touch with you or tour the facilities, find out how it's booked?
They can call me at City Hall in Nevada City, and and then I'll set up a time to meet with them if they need to see the building, or I can give them prices. So.
Is there also a website that they can look at?
Yes, our city website is getting updated right now, so so they can go there. There's not a lot of information though, but there will be soon.
Great.
So we can give that out. Are we giving that out now?
Well, a lot of the phone numbers and websites are listed.
Okay.
Will be brought up during the show, so that you won't have to remember them.
Okay, good.
And so let's kind of move through the Parks and Rec program. Are you a full-time employee there?
Yes.
So and are you finding that you're fully occupied with?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I have
programs.
More to do than time to do it. So, which is good though. There's a lot going on. So.
And it's still winter.
Right.
So you know so when summer comes about, what are you planning for?
Well, actually, I've already started planning for this summer, getting the pool up and running. It's time to reconnect with the staff and see who's coming back, that kind of thing. We have a couple new programs at the swimming pool this year. We're going to offer scuba diving. So an instructor contacted me last year, so we're going to work that into the schedule.
Wonderful,
so
exciting.
That'll be fun. And then there's actually I think it's just 1 little hour of water safety for families. Toddlers and young adults, like around the 15 years old, are the highest, they have the highest rate for drowning. So it's really important.
You said toddlers and 15-year-olds?
Yes.
It's hard to put those two together.
Right. Well, toddlers because they haven't learned the skills to swim yet, and then the teenagers because they're willing to take some more risks. I think is the primary reason.
Good. And so the water safety for families courses will be given. I would imagine some...
Yeah, it's, I don't have the date yet. It'll be in our information when it comes out, but it'll be just on a Saturday morning so that families can come together. They'll learn a few skills about how to be safe, and some of it might just seem like common sense, but it's good to, you know, kind of hear it. And then also we'll show them a couple ways to do some rescues if somebody is in trouble, whether it be in your home pool or at the river or, you know, at a lake, wherever you're swimming. So.
That's great.
Yeah.
We do have some photos that I want everyone to see, but they really start with summer camp. So maybe you can talk about summer camp as well, the programs that are offered.
Yeah, we offered a summer camp last summer for kids ages 5 to 10, and so we had a great time. It was only 4 weeks long, and the kids could sign up for 1 week at a time. And in this picture here, one of the days what we did, it was the week of the 4th of July.
And this is at Pioneer Park?
This is at Pioneer Park, yep. We ran the camp right there at the park. It was great for lots of space to play. We went to the pool every Friday afternoon.
And what were the hours?
9 to 4.
So it's pretty much of a full day.
Yes.
Lunch?
They bring their lunch, but we provide a morning and afternoon snack.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And what, you know, were you fully booked? Is this something that was demand?
We were willing to take up to 40 children, and we had about 20 each week. So definitely room to grow. We're adding a couple more weeks this year. We're going to try doing 6 weeks. We're also going to partner with Campfire again on this program and have them help us run it. So.
Great.
Yeah, big fun.
I remember, actually, I worked for a summer with Campfire Girls at the time at Lake Vera because the lake was operated by the Campfire Girls.
Yes.
And, of course, all the camps around Lake Vera were Campfire Girl camps.
Yes.
That's since changed. But I think they still run camps out of Lake Vera.
Yes, there's... let's see, the Salvation Army owns a couple of the camps out there, and I think Campfire USA still owns one of the camps, and the City of Piedmont, oddly enough, owns one of the camps, so yeah.
Well, let's see. The other program that I wanted to talk about is what's happening with Hirschman Pond.
Okay. So the city purchased the property, Hirschman's Pond, wow, 3 years ago now, I think. And it's located off of Highway 49, and it's a great space. You get out there, and it's just, even though you're right by the highway, it's so peaceful and quiet, and lots of wildlife out here.
I was surprised to see this historic photograph of Hirschman's Pond because it obviously dates back to the hydraulic mining days. You can see that there's a lot of damage done to the hillsides during that period of time.
Yeah.
And yet today you wouldn't know it. I mean, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Beautiful.
And you know, the only way you really know that that's what was done there is the cliff where you can tell that's how the pond was formed. So
this is going to be a tremendous asset to everyone around, really. It's going to be a pond. Now, what's the plan for the development of the area?
Right now, we just have a plan for a trail to run through the Hirschman's property, and then it will connect up with Indian Trails subdivision. And so beyond that, we haven't made a plan for that property. It's in the process, and we're hoping to do maybe a community workshop to get some input as to what people would like to see there.
So how long will this trail be that people will be able to hike in from and out to? You know,
the trail will be, it's about close to 2 miles. It'll start at Cement Hill Road, and you can enter in and park there. Not right now, you can't. But we actually applied for a grant. The Land Trust helped us put together a grant. So if we're awarded that grant, which we'll know in the next 3 months or so, we'll be able to move forward with the project. And so hoping that all goes well with that, you'll be able to enter on Cement Hill and follow the trail. The first part of the trail to the pond will be accessible. So anyone in a wheelchair or with a walker or just who needs a nice flat surface to walk on, they'll be able to get to the pond easily. And then it will continue on from there, like I said, through the Indian Trail subdivision.
Well, I know that the Land Trust has been very helpful in developing trails and in actually providing volunteers to clear and maintain the trails. So is this kind of something that the community can be helpful in doing?
Oh yes, yeah. And actually, as part of the grant, there had to be matching funds. And so the city has a little bit of those matching funds, but the rest came from volunteer. You can include those volunteer hours as matching funds. So that's what we fully intend to do, because there's lots of people around who are willing to spend their time doing that. So.
And one of the things we obviously value is our natural spaces.
Yes.
And this becomes more accessible. And I think it was part of the developer's obligation to either make the trail available or actually help in the development of the trail. Do you know that?
I think there was two things that happened. There was the Hirschman's property, and I think trails was kind of in mind when the city purchased that property, but primarily it was preserving this beautiful open space and keeping the area around Nevada City green. The Indian Trails part, there's the open space that's around, like surrounds where the house is, and that will be. And yes, that was part of the agreement between the developers and the city, that the developers gave that property to the city along with a little bit of money to help maintain trails that will hopefully someday be there.
Right. Yeah, and I know that this is also being developed with the property that used to belong to the Grass Valley Group. The tech centers that are growing up essentially behind Nevada City are developing trails from their offices to the city. So it's going to be a very nice combination of city, housing and what accompanies small towns and the availability of nature right next door.
Right.
And one of the things we hear about always is the negative of what problems Nevada City or Grass Valley have. You always hear about the problems, you read about the problems. You don't necessarily realize the good things that are happening, maybe behind the scenes, that are going to be available to all of us, and not just the city dwellers. But
yeah, I think these trails are going to be a huge asset to everyone in the county who can make use of them. One of the things that we found, I might be jumping ahead here a little bit, but we had a public workshop where we invited the community to come and give us some ideas about what they wanted to see Parks and Recreation in Nevada City provide. And a huge thing that came out of that was that they want for Nevada City to be more walkable. And so that's not all just Parks and Rec, it's sidewalks and infrastructure too, but that's something that people want. They want to be able to walk from their homes to their schools and to the grocery store and things like that. So, yeah.
It's definitely a challenge that the cities face as we grow and continue to urbanize. I know that I just read that the Grass Valley is attempting to save a lot of the older, more historic homes, and I know there's a Wolf Creek plan to uncover as much as Wolf Creek runs through the town, to have that become a trail that people can walk. So there's this definitely balance that's trying to be created between development and maintaining the beauty of the area.
Right, right. I think it's really important. I was actually just at a workshop on Friday, and they were saying basically that same thing, that the recreation that people are desiring is changing. And so what people want is they want to have open spaces outdoor where they can go do what they want to do when they want to do it. So, I think the basketball leagues and those things are still going to be a demand, but what people really want is to be able to get outside, because we're I don't know where the statistic came from, but the person talking said that people are, the 40-hour work week is gone. People are working longer hours and they're getting less sleep. So when they have that time to recreate, they want to be out where it's relaxing. So.
Right, and we see that struggle going on now with the NID ditch trails that people love to walk, and the development that is going to go through them and around them, and so and it's this trade-off that we're constantly looking at. And I was wondering if the city has developed much vision about how that will take place. This is kind of a surprise question. Yeah. I know. I don't expect you to have a developed answer.
Right, right.
But I'm just, you know, you're here, you're looking at recreation. What do you see happening?
Well, I think because of that public workshop, that keeping trails in our, you know, developing some kind of trail plan will be part of what we want to do. I believe it's on our city goals already to do that in the future. And I think the demographics could be changing, and so we're still going to need to be providing programs for families as well as seniors. I think there tends to be the thought that it's more of an aging population in our county, but I'm not so sure that that's true. I think we have both, you know, young families as well as seniors. So it'll be a challenge to meet everyone's needs, or attempt to.
Right. Yeah, I think that historically nature has been a great sort of nurturing factor in the pleasure that people experience, you know, and I think the ability to get to it quickly,
right,
and easily. You know, I think of myself, but I think of but there is an aging population that still wants to be able to walk in the hills without having to go to great lengths.
Yes, yes, and actually, the senior citizens are, this was another thing that came up at the workshop, but they don't want to play bingo anymore. They're more active. We don't have the same, senior citizens now is definitely defined differently than it used to be. So they want to be out, be active, be doing things. So,
good.
Yeah.
Well, are there questions that need to be asked? I'm wondering if there are things that I haven't asked you you want to bring up.
Gosh, we have so many things. Going back to the youth center, one of the things that we're doing on Monday, January 21st, we have a service project that the youth are doing. It's Martin Luther King Day of Service, and so they are going to build some bookshelves that we are going to distribute around town. We're still trying to figure out where they're actually going to go, and so that will be to promote literacy. And so we'll be following up with some kind of book donation to actually fill the shelves. But it will also be a day for parents or anyone from the public to stop by, see what we're offering, and you know, we can answer questions for them, give them the registration information, all of that.
So it's a kind of an open house?
Yeah, it's like a grand reopening kind of thing. So that will be from 3 to 6 on January 21st at the Veterans Park.
I know that there is an intention in your plan to work with youth, partly provided by this REACH grant. But I know that you have some students already involved, but you have a goal.
Yes.
So can you describe that?
Yes, we have about 10 kids right now involved, and they're part of our leadership team. So they've been helping to plan what activities they think they'd like to see happen. But our goal is to get 100 kids involved in this program. So we're working towards that. And
when you say 100 kids involved in the program, has that taken shape, what the program will be?
It has, but it also is flexible in that if we find the needs changing, then we'll change. So right now we're offering some classes based on what the kids who are involved have come up with. We have a photography class planned and a beginning art class. And so they'll be able to register for those things. And then Mondays is kind of the more free day. They kind of call it game day. It'll be less structured though, more of a time to just hang out, which is what we know middle school students like to do. They like to just hang out with their friends.
Is there times, I would assume after school, are there certain days of the week, or is it all day?
It's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 3 to 6. Or I'm sorry, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday from 3 to 6.
Right, Friday people are going.
Right.
It's
Well,
not-
yeah, and there's other
kids are
uses
going.
at the building. So
Monday, Wednesday, Thursday from 3 to 6. And how about, are any costs involved?
there is a registration fee, and then the Monday, the free day, is just $5 for the kids to come. I think that's how they're doing it. Campfire's in charge of the registration, so, but yeah, there is a small fee for each of the programs, and it might change, like photography, if they needed to buy supplies, it's based on that. So.
Right. And are you still looking for instructors?
Yes, we're still looking for staff. We have some people to keep us going until we find some people who can be in there for the long haul. But we do need a program manager and program leader for the program. So anyone who's interested in working with middle school students should give us a call for sure.
Program manager and a program
leader.
And what does those entail? We have a little bit of time so we can go through that.
Okay, the program manager is kind of the lead person. So they'll make sure that things are happening on time. They'll supervise the program leader. They will plan the different snacks. They'll contact instructors and keep all the activities organized. So, and then the leader is the one definitely right in there working right with the kids.
And are there any age requirements? In other words, could high school students be sometimes involved?
They're hoping to have the program manager has to be 21 or over, and then 18 for the program leader. So potentially that could be a high school senior. They would have to have some experience.
Someone at Sierra College.
Yes,
right.
Definitely.
Who wants to go into youth activities and the kind of thing that you're doing with Parks and Recreation.
Right.
And you do, I think I remember saying, you do have a degree in this area, so that's something that, of course, is really vital to our own youth, that we continue to provide activities and worthwhile events. So I encourage everyone to attend the 21st open house, January 21st, and to support what Dawn and the City of Nevada City are doing. And I want to thank you very much for coming here today and remind everyone that this is what community television is all about. If you have events, programs, activities for young or old, this is a way to get the word out and help support Nevada County Television, which is your local television station. So thanks again for watching, and thank you, Dawn.
Thanks, Lew.
Great to have you.
Thanks.